Hey guys, Tanjim here, and welcome to episode 3 of Superhero Spotlight. In this episode, we'll be spotlighting Green Lantern. Um, this Superhero Spotlight episode won't be as much as a rant as much as it will be, me just giving my thoughts on what's going on with Green Lantern and where I think and where I believe Green Lantern is heading right now. Also, we'll be delving into Blackest Night. And so I really, guys, hope you enjoy this one. This one's going to be a real fun one. So I hope you guys stay tuned and enjoy it. So, right now, DC is doing, I think, an excellent job with the Green Lantern books right now. Namely, Jeff Johns, who is writing the book, and man, it's just great to see something out of DC that I actually want to read. Now, many of you may or may not know that I'm not a huge DC fan. I'm not a real big DC fan. As a matter of fact, before Blackest Night and before one of the books I'm going to mention, I have not read DC. Well, not I wouldn't say at all, but sparingly. I would read a Batman book every once in a while, Superman book every once in a while. The last DC book I read previously before this was the whole thing with the death of Superman. So that was the last book I had DC book I had read. So it's good to see Green Lantern, namely Hal Jordan, be put in the spotlight back again, but back with him in the forefront. Now, he's not very much known to the mainstream media, to the mainstream public. Many of you remember him from Super Friends and other early day comic books. Hardcore fans will remember him. But the general public doesn't really keep up with Green Lantern, doesn't really know much about him. Probably would be the best description of him was that he's the guy that couldn't fight the yellow stuff. So but I'm glad to see that he's more of an in-depth character. He's more than just his power ring and more than just fighting a guy with a yellow power ring. And speaking of yellow power rings, the first actual DC books or book that I picked up was then actually read in depth was Sinestro Corps War. Now, I got recommended this book by a couple of good friends of mine, and they said, you got to check this out. This is a fantastic read. You will not be disappointed. I thought to myself, oh man, a DC book. It's I'm not gonna like it, but it turns out fantastic read. If you haven't read it yet, I suggest reading that first before you delve into Blackest Night, because it's going to explain a lot as far as Blackest Night goes. It's going to delve into more of why Sinestro is doing this, and if Sinestro has a part in Blackest Night, well, I'm sure he will. But yeah, it'll kind of clue into what Blackest Night is, and it's just a great read. So Blackest Night. I picked up issue number 1 a couple weeks ago, and I have issue 2 currently. As you guys know, I had issue number 1 signed by Jeff Johns himself when I went to Comic-Con. And I have to say, it's an excellent read, guys. It's turning out to be, I think, in my opinion, it's turning out to be better and bigger than Dark Reign right now. And all props go to Bendis. I'm not saying Bendis is a bad writer. I'm saying that he's pretty much being upstarted by Jeff Johns right now, because he's not making a big deal out of it, but it's more of a story for him than for the readers, and I think that's the big key right there. This book isn't catering to fans and stuff like that. This is more for him. So during Blackest Night, we've seen Hal Jordan as different lanterns. One being the Red Lantern, the red being rage, and him kind of being out of control for a little bit. The limited time that we see him as Red Lantern. The Red Lanterns are probably one of my favorites. They're not my favorite, but they're probably the most interesting because they don't really have an ulterior motive, or they don't have really a big purpose. All there is just pure emotion, and I think that's really cool about the Red Lanterns, that they're just running on emotion and not like at their actual rings. Another lantern that we see how to change into is the Blue Lantern. These lanterns are actually my favorite, the Blue Lanterns, because they're not just there, using their power rings or whatever emotional spectrum that they're using, or representing. They're more coinciding with the Green Lanterns. Mainly, they are helping out the Green Lanterns. Matter of fact, the only way you could use a Blue Lantern ring is conjoining with a Green Lantern, and I think that's awesome. I think that's great. It's a fantastic idea. I don't know why anybody has thought of this before, but I think it's an excellent idea, and Jeff Johns is really doing an excellent job in Blackest Night. I can't say more about it. So a question I want to know is, will we see Hal Jordan become another Lantern? Will we see him become a Yellow Lantern? Will we see him, or a Sinestro Corps member? Will we be seeing him become an Orange Lantern? Will we be seeing him become a Star Sapphire? Or an Indigo Lantern? Who knows? But make sure you rate, comment, subscribe. And the next superhero we'll be spotlighting is Deadpool. Another fun one. I can't wait for this one, so make sure you watch out for it.